Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Thank you for taking the time to come and hear about Cameroon Catalyst's incoming strategy for 2022 to 26. I'm Thomas Edwards, current chair of the charity and head of student development, and I'm joined by Tom Dutton, our head of project delivery, and Sebastian Denner, our monitoring and evaluation manager. Over the next 20 minutes or so, the three of us will talk through our refreshed look, realigned focuses, and strategic objectives for the next 5 years. We hope that you feel just as excited about our plans, and whether you're a student volunteer, supporter, or just someone interested in our work, you get a feel for where you fit within our strategy and the opportunities available for you to get involved. During this session, we'll give you a glimpse of our refreshed branding, which launches in line with the new strategy. We'll then present a reminder of our purpose as a charity, who we are and what we stand for, and our newly defined focus areas which describe the work we do and the impact we have. We'll then take a look back at our history to understand what got us to where we are today and how that inferred our current priority. And with a clear idea of who we are, what we do, and what we're prioritizing, we'll then set out our objectives for the next 5-year strategic cycle. Our refreshed look modernizes our visual identity to promote the new strategy. Our new logo is a stylistic twist on the previous, keeping our connection with Cameroon Catalyst's history, but reflecting who we are now. Keep an eye out across our social media and website to find out more about our new image and how it helps share the great work we do. We're going to start with an introduction or reminder to who we are, what our purpose is, and who our volunteers are.
If you're not familiar with Cameroon Catalyst, we are a student-driven international development charity promoting sustainable change in rural Cameroon. To that end, we bring together students and specialists to deliver essential infrastructure projects in some of the least developed communities in Cameroon. Alongside this strategy, we have slightly reworded our vision and mission statements. Our vision statement sets out the ideal future state we are seeking and working towards. Our vision is for rural communities in Cameroon to possess the autonomy and opportunity to achieve their own sustainable development towards a fulfilling, healthy and prosperous future. The mission statement, on the other hand, sets out the role we play in achieving the vision. We see our role as a catalyst for sustainable change in rural Cameroon, by delivering needs-assessed infrastructure which empowers local communities to engage with their own sustainable development. Here you can see Cameroon Catalyst's 4 core values. They underpin everything we do as a charity and help steer our priorities. Scope relates to our fundamental belief that our project should address a real and present need, while also accurately reflecting the economic, social and environmental landscapes of the communities we work with. Sustainability speaks to our principle of ensuring that our projects are designed and delivered in a way that balances our project's impacts towards achieving sustainable development. Safety expresses our core desire for our projects to be delivered in a way that ensures the health and safety of everyone involved with project delivery, from design through to use in our beneficiary communities. Support captures our approach of building mutual and ongoing relationships with our stakeholders that are fundamental to making our projects possible. As mentioned before, Cameroon Catalyst is a student-driven charity. That means our work is only possible because of our teams of dedicated students across our 3 chapters at the University of Southampton, the University of Birmingham, and Imperial College London. Our student volunteers hold a vital role in our work. They are responsible for researching and designing our projects, raising funds for construction, and promoting the charity. Our student volunteers come from a diverse range of technical and non-technical degree programs, such as engineering and natural sciences, as well as social sciences and languages.
We are governed by a board of trustees and managed day-to-day by a senior committee, all of whom volunteer their time to support the charity. Our board of trustees set the overarching direction for the charity and work alongside and as part of the senior committee to oversee our operations. Our trustee board is formed of 2 of our co-founders, Claire and Pat, a charity specialist, Andy, and 4 student team alumni, Laura, Tom, Sebastian, and myself. Our senior committee is responsible for the day-to-day operations and support functions of the charity and draws from industry professionals, many of whom are student team alumni themselves.
We are supported by an advisory board of individuals and organizations who specialize in each of our focus areas and priorities. This includes engineering professional services firm WSP and humanitarian architectural design charity Article 25. We are grateful to receive ongoing corporate patronage from WSP, whose contributions to our project funding are invaluable. We are also proud of our long-term technical advisory relationship with Article 25. Their advice features prominently in our designs and plays a vital role in the delivery of our projects.
Our work is aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, The goals and their associated targets help to define our priorities and provide us with the confidence that our solutions act towards the sustainable change that we hope to catalyse. New to this strategy are our realigned focus areas, which define the streams of work that we do as a charity. By highlighting these focus areas, we make it clear what we're involved with and where we have an impact. Our 4 focus areas are project delivery, community engagement, student development, and collaboration and knowledge sharing. Project delivery is our most significant tangible impact and encompasses the work we do to deliver essential needs assessed infrastructure in our beneficiary communities. Community engagement captures our involvement with these communities throughout the project delivery lifecycle to ensure our solutions consider the cultural, religious, economic, and political setting. Student development covers our work to support our student volunteers to become future civil society leaders. And collaboration and knowledge sharing includes our aspirations to partner and share best practice with the wider industry.
This focus area encompasses the projects we deliver, which contribute towards meeting essential needs. And in our projects, we aim to demonstrate innovation and best practice wherever possible. Our listed activities encompass a full project life cycle. This starts with our students who are involved at the early stages, conducting feasibility and design. We then use in-house chartered engineers and external advisors, such as Article 25 and WSP, to check and ensure our designs are appropriate for the community and technically excellent. Construction of our projects is undertaken by locally appointed contractors, and once complete, our projects are operated by committees set up in our beneficiary communities. Monitoring and evaluation is then conducted by our volunteers, and project success is based on the continued performance and not just at the point where the project is handed over to the community after construction. We then apply lessons learned to future projects.
The focus area community engagement encompasses all of our interactions with our local stakeholders and includes beneficiary communities, suppliers, local governance, and representatives in Cameroon. We actively involve these stakeholders throughout the life cycle of each project, from thorough initial field visit surveys to ongoing post-handover support and monitoring and evaluation. We typically send a student volunteer team on a 2-week trip once a year to carry out the activities you can see on screen. Their data is supplemented by local volunteers who conduct outreach activities throughout the year. At the center of our engagement with local communities is the aim to foster local ownership of the projects. In our experience, this means our projects are well received and maintained.
In student development, we structure how we support our students to become future civil society leaders and sustainability thinkers. Student volunteers are the core drivers of our impact, responsible for the design and fundraising of each project. This level of student involvement in an international development charity is unique to Cameroon Catalyst and is important because it provides those at the beginning of their careers with the opportunity to develop their knowledge, skills, and experience across a range of technical and non-technical disciplines. Our student volunteers develop both passively through their direct experiences with project involvement and charity operations, and actively through opportunities tailored towards improving specific skills or knowledge sets. We run an annual field trip, which provides students with the opportunity to carry out research and visit projects on the ground in Cameroon, and signpost opportunities for training and development through our supporters. We also maintain a student operations manual and a drafting and development framework to support our student teams in their day-to-day operations and structure the opportunities and roles available to them within the charity. Throughout our history, we have collaborated with organisations and institutions outside of our beneficiary communities to deliver projects and support our students. We continue to identify opportunities to partner with similar organisations across our focus areas to deliver the best work we can. This strategic cycle also introduces a focus on sharing our research findings and lessons learned with the wider international development sector to expand our impact within the industry.
We were founded in 2009 by a team of engineering students at the University of Southampton. Historically, Cameroon Catalyst constructed projects in one village called Bambuti. In 2010, we constructed the January Hope Medical Centre. This provided the village and the surrounding area with vital medical care. Since 2016, it's been run by local charities, expanding its capabilities to provide healthcare for the local population. As an example, 678 children were given vital vaccinations at the centre in 2019. The year after this, our second project was constructed in Bambuti. This was the carpentry and mechanical workshop, and this served as a centre to provide the local community with vocational teaching facilities. We then improved the school building in Bambuti, providing new classroom buildings, each with a capacity of 80 students. The previous school building was dilapidated, and our work prompted the government to then provide further funds to renovate this neglected school building. In 2013, we partnered with an organisation at the University of Southampton to provide solar power for the local community to use to charge their phones and lamps. It also provided energy for the vaccination fridge in the medical centre. In 2014, we provided accommodation for the staff at the medical centre and pioneered sustainable housing techniques in the area.
With this look at our past projects and successes, we will now take a look at our current priority, water sanitation and hygiene, or WASH. We started this program in 2015 and have steadily expanded it ever since. First, we will take a look at the rationale behind prioritizing WASH, followed by a breakdown of the projects we deliver to address WASH needs and the challenge posed by climate change. In 2013, we conducted a comprehensive assessment of the development needs in the wider eastern region of Cameroon. We identified as the biggest barrier to sustainable development a pronounced lack of water sanitation and hygiene infrastructure. As a result of our initial assessment, we made WASH the focus of our previous 5-year strategy and developed our own WASH program in conjunction with our beneficiary communities. WASH continues to remain a prime concern in the communities we work with, which is regularly reaffirmed by our rolling assessments. Addressing water sanitation and hygiene therefore remains our current priority. Our findings are broadly in line with the current WASH situation throughout rural Cameroon, as can be seen in these bubbles. The current WASH situation has several social and health-related implications. Collecting water from natural water sources often involves climbing down narrow, steep and slippery paths and can lead to injuries. Carrying heavy loads of water is also a strenuous activity, one that women and children are typically tasked with. Water collected from these sources can present a significant hazard to health, as it often contains harmful bacteria, viruses or chemicals. When used for washing and cleaning, it can also reintroduce contamination to cookware, surfaces and hands. Poor sanitation and hygiene are a common risk factor for the spread of infectious diseases. These exacerbate malnutrition and remain a leading global cause of child deaths. The emergence of COVID-19 has further heightened and highlighted the need for appropriate hand hygiene facilities. Lack of access to sanitation facilities in communal places such as market squares also disregards considerations of dignity, privacy and personal safety, in particular with regards to the needs of women and girls.
We have constructed 7 hand-dug wells to date, which provide clean drinking water to a population of over 5,000 people. A typical well design is used, which draws water from shallow aquifers at a depth of 20 to 30 metres. A pump mechanism that's typically available in the area is also used, so replacement parts are more easily sourced. This project was designed by the University of Southampton team. After joining in 2019, our Imperial College team chose to focus on providing further sources of clean water to help to address water scarcity in the villages. Their first project is a rainwater harvesting and storage scheme, and its construction is almost complete. It provides clean water through the collection of rain from the roof of a previous Cameroon Catalyst project. This water is then filtered and stored in a concrete blockwork tank. Since joining in 2016, the University of Birmingham team have been focused on latrine projects, addressing issues related to sanitation and hygiene. Their communal ventilated pit latrine proposal is soon to start construction. The main improvement compared to existing latrines in the region is the provision of pit ventilation, which reduces odours and flies. This significantly improves the user experience and reduces public health risks. Through our water projects, we've been able to alleviate water scarcity, and once the latrine project is complete, we will help to reduce wash needs as a whole. But due to the impacts of climate change, these projects face challenges long term. Climate change is causing warmer temperatures and less frequent rainfall. This means that shallow aquifers are becoming less reliable as a water source. This is shown in the diagram, where the longer dry season dries the ground, preventing rainfall from penetrating it in the wet season, and meaning the shallow aquifer is not recharged. We have found this out by speaking to local people on our trips, but this has been confirmed at a higher level by UNICEF in their climate crisis report produced in 2020. This means a switch to deeper wells and schemes to improve water storage and management.
Having defined our focus areas and reassessed our current priority, we've been able to set a series of objectives for what we'd like to achieve over the next 5 years. Individual plans will be drawn up within each of the focus areas to detail exactly how the objectives will be met, and we'll work with our senior committee and student teams to deliver on these.
Our objectives within project delivery will be to continue to produce WASH infrastructure, but with a shift in our approach to provide projects with improved long-term sustainability. We'll then look to produce a combined project which has provision for water, sanitation and hygiene needs, as this is the most logical and sustainable way to meet demand at scale. This will be through collaboration between student chapters working on different aspects of the project. We'll also continue to update our design approach, improving the documentation that guides our students through undertaking projects. The Southampton team will switch from hand-dug wells to borehole wells. These appear identical at surface level, but what differs is the shaft, which is machine excavated to go much deeper into deep confined aquifers. This will provide a more reliable source of water long term compared to hand-dug wells. The Imperial team will apply their lessons learnt from water storage and distribution to elevated water towers. These will be linked to an existing water source, for example a borehole well, and the project would utilise an electric pump with solar power. The Birmingham team will cater for the sanitation needs of large communities through providing a septic tank system with a pour flush. The chart below shows how these projects will be phased and how the projects in 2025 and 2026 will lead to a combined wash facility. The borehole well will provide water for drinking, washing and flushing the pour flush latrine. This water will be stored and distributed by a water tower. The stage process allows for both fundraising and to build the skills required to design these projects, while still meeting the wash needs each year with new projects.
For our focus area community engagement, we have identified 3 strategic objectives for the next 5 years. We aim to formalize our approach to community engagement and create a guide based on our current informally grown practices. This will involve identifying key engagement opportunities throughout project delivery, such as consulting with the community over infrastructure, designs, location, maintenance and operation. We will also establish structured data collection procedures, which we will capture and streamline in a formalized version of our monitoring and evaluation approach. Together, these steps will enable us to engage more effectively with our beneficiary communities, improve internal learning processes, and ultimately amplify our impact.
Reflecting the importance of our student volunteers, this strategic cycle sets out to formalise our approach to student development and ensure that our students receive the most appropriate support to effectively engage with their roles. We will publish a student development framework which presents a route map to illustrate the opportunities available to our student volunteers depending on when they join the charity and where their skill set is best placed. We will expand our in-house training offering between student chapters and signpost to relevant external training through our supporters and the wider industry. Within collaboration and knowledge sharing, we will continue to identify and pursue opportunities to partner with organisations that align with our focus areas and priorities. We will also maintain our relationship with the historic collaboration partners who have supported our previous projects. In parallel with the new in-house training offering identified within student development, we will establish a knowledge sharing platform to encourage our student teams to share their best practice and lessons learned with each other. We then plan to share this best practice externally through wider industry forums and knowledge sharing events. As we recover from the impact that the COVID-19 restrictions have had on our operations, we've been offered a really great opportunity to reflect on the fantastic work that we've delivered over the past 5 years and understand the position that has put us in. Our student volunteers across our chapters have continued to deliver to the standard that they previously set for themselves, and despite the complications in their education, have remained pivotal to our success this period. Our plans for 2022 to 26 seek to reinvigorate our aims and set a clear path forwards for Cameroon Catalyst. With a strong portfolio of successful projects, we're excited to take our lessons learned forward and see what the next 5 years hold. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to our new strategy, and we invite you to think about where you might play a part in helping us achieve our objectives. We welcome any questions, and a copy of the full strategy and how to get in touch will be made available after watching this. Thanks again.